Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news now, Tropical Storm Nate. The forecast track has shifted today away from us. Let's get the latest on the storm from Wendy Ross, who's in today for John Galt. Wendy?
Isn't it nice to start off with some good news? And so that is exactly what's taking place. And of course, we've been talking about Tropical Storm Nate over the last couple of days and the formation of this system. And you can see this is the area that we're talking about right now. And so as Nate continues to move on up towards the northwest, we are starting to see that high pressure system in the Bahamas getting a little bit stronger. And so the thinking is that this is going to help to push Nate away from our coastline. So that's the great news. And these are the latest coordinates, 40-mile-per-hour winds right now moving towards the northwest. It's picked up a little bit of forward speed at 9 miles per hour, and it's going to continue to move on into the Gulf of Mexico. And once it hits the Gulf of Mexico, of course, we are expecting it to become a hurricane. And that's going to be taking place sometime on Saturday is when it's going to be moving into the Gulf. And now the present track is taking it up somewhere between the panhandle of Florida and portions of Louisiana. So that's the cone of uncertainty at this point, and that is keeping it well off the coastline of the west coast of Florida. And so the GFS models are also showing pretty much the same thing. We're watching the system moving on into the Gulf of Mexico, and now, right now, the thinking is that it's going to be moving anywhere between the panhandle of Florida and New Orleans. This area right in here is where we think it's going to be making landfall, and that will take place on Sunday. And so we've got to get through the next couple of days, and you do want to check these tracks because they can change. And you know, the difference of 50 miles can make all the difference in the world. So we just want to stay on top of this each and every day, and we will continue to bring you updates as they make themselves available, and we'll pass that information along to you. And of course, in the meantime, we're looking at cloudy skies across our forecast area, and we're going to continue to see rain off and on throughout the day today. We've got about a 60% chance of rain in our forecast. Scott?
Wendy, thank you. Governor Rick Scott is urging residents in Florida's Panhandle to keep an eye on Tropical Storm Nate. Scott was in Pensacola this morning meeting with city and emergency management officials there about the storm's potential impact. According to Scott's Twitter feed, he's been receiving regular weather briefings from the Division of Emergency Management on Nate. He also tweeted a reminder that we are still in the heart of hurricane season, and every Florida family and business should be prepared. To make a plan, you can visit flgetaplan.org. Governor also encouraging people to visit the Florida Keys after Hurricane Irma slammed the area last month. Scott was in the Keys yesterday touring some of the damage there. He says getting electrical service fully restored is a top priority.
Everything we're trying to do is all tied to power. I mean, and so we got to keep getting these tankers in and get fuel everywhere around the state, but we got to get people their power back.
The Keys officially reopened to visitors on Sunday, but Keys leaders are asking tourists to be sensitive to recovery efforts in the lower Keys. Key Largo and Key West were the least impacted by Irma and have more lodging and attractions open than other parts of the Florida Keys. Remember, you can get up-to-minute updates on the tropics as well as weather conditions across the area by downloading the ABC 7 weather and news apps. Once you download the apps, you'll get updates on the forecast, breaking news, any other local stories delivered directly to your phone. Investigators in Nevada and across the country are working to piece together events that led to the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas on Sunday night. Authorities say 58 people were killed, and they've adjusted the number of injured. They now say the shooting hurt 489 people. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest now from Las Vegas.
Investigators now delving into the elaborate planning of Sunday night's attack on this country music festival in Las Vegas, now saying it's possible gunman Stephen Paddock had some type of help.
It's troublesome that this individual was able to move this amount of gear into a hotel room unassisted.
An official briefed on the investigation says Paddock was seen with a woman in his final days. They're now trying to figure out who she is as the FBI questions his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, now a person of interest. Her attorney reading a statement she wrote denying any knowledge.
He never said anything to me or took any action that I was aware of that I understood in any way to be a warning that something horrible like this was going to happen.
Investigators are now looking into the possibility Paddock may have planned to attack earlier. Sources saying Paddock booked hotel rooms in Chicago in August during the Lollapalooza festival. Authorities also say he rented a room at this Las Vegas condo overlooking a different concert just a week before the massacre that left 58 innocent people dead, 487 others injured. Among them, Jesus Campos, the security guard, the first to approach Paddock's hotel room, the gunman shooting him through the door.
His bravery was amazing because he remained with our officers, provided them the key pass to access the door, and actually continued to help them clear rooms until our officer demanded that he go seek medical attention.
Campos tells ABC News he was just doing his job and that he's doing okay. But today, more than 150 others injured in the attack are still hospitalized. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Las Vegas.
Here at home, more defense testimony today in the attempted murder trial of a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy. Sheriff's deputies and an EMT worker taking the stand this morning at Frank Bybee's trial. Bybee is charged with stealing money from and trying to murder an elderly woman. The EMT worker talked about injuries found on the victim the day of the alleged incident. Deputies testifying to what they observed and put into their reports. Some of the testimony centered on whether the victim's allegations were believable when law enforcement arrived at the scene. The case is expected to go to the jury sometime tomorrow. Habitat for Humanity will be building its 4th affordable housing neighborhood in Manatee County. That neighborhood will feature about 18 single-family homes on 32nd Avenue East in the Samoset area. Manatee County Habitat for Humanity recently bought 3 acres of land, which is a former tomato farm. The neighborhood will be called Poling Gardens in recognition of the family that sold the property. It'll feature environmentally friendly green homes and a community garden.
I am a gardener and a conservationist and a builder, which is at times can be at odds with each other. However, this is an opportunity to put all of those together.
We're very excited about doing a community, particularly in this area where there is a great need for affordable housing. We know that it's going to involve a lot of the community members that come together and that have come together with us in the past.
In the coming months, Manatee County Habitat for Humanity will be raising money for this project. Ground is expected to be broken late next year, with all the homes finished within a couple of years. Happening today, if you're looking for a job, Manatee County might be the place to be. The government is scheduling interviews and making on-the-spot job offers at a job fair at the Bradenton Area Convention Center in Palmetto. The county is recruiting for all departments from 2 to 7 p.m. There are more than 100 positions now available. 3 local companies honored today at the annual Greater Sarasota Chamber of Commerce luncheon. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us live from the Hyatt Sarasota with more on today's event. Ray?
Scott, more than 300 people are here at the Hyatt for the annual Chamber of Commerce Awards luncheon. This year's theme is Your Story is Our Story, and they're about to honor 3 local companies. I'll give you a sneak peek right now as to who they're honoring. It'll be John Saputo from Gold Coast Eagle, also Joe Seidensticker from the Libby's Restaurants, and PPI Technology Group, some manufacturers that are from the Northgate Center Business Park up 301. We're going to talk now to the Chamber of Commerce President, Kevin Cooper. Kevin, hop in here. Why is it important to honor these local private sector companies?
Well, you know, the Chamber of Commerce primarily exists to promote, support, and connect our members. And the theme of the lunch today is about pulling back the curtain on things that the community might not be aware of that are happening amongst the businesses here, showing them what things they don't know how it gets done, they don't know it's here, or just some really interesting facts about our local businesses.
What's the common theme among your 3 winners? A degree of initiative or inventiveness?
It's more about things that people don't know. So when you're looking at, oh, I didn't know that's how it happened. Oh, I never would imagine that's how it was done. Or, wow, I just didn't know that was there.
Very good. All right, Kevin, have a good lunch. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin Cooper, the president of the Sarasota Area Chamber of Commerce. We'll have a full wrap-up today later on at 5. For now, I'm Ray Collins, live at the Sarasota Hyatt. Scott, back to you in the studio.
All right, Ray, thanks so much. The International Association of Chiefs of Police is conducting a staffing study on the Sarasota Police Department. That group took input from the public last night. The study, led by the city of Sarasota, will end in a comprehensive review of the entire police department. Still to come in your Suncoast News, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We'll tell you what you can do to help a potential victim. Plus, osteoporosis is a condition that affects 10 million Americans, particularly women. Well, now there's a way for older women to fight back. We'll show you that when we come back.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 6th and 7th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy the great food court and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC7. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Well, as you know, we have been watching 2 areas across the Caribbean, and certainly the one that is closest to us, which is not in the Caribbean, but right off of the coastline of Miami. And that's the one that's bringing us the cloudy weather, the rainy conditions that we're going to be experiencing throughout the day today. That's this area right here, moving off towards the west. And of course, we have Tropical Storm Nate, and Nate has been something we've been watching over the last couple of days. And now at 11 o'clock this morning, it became Tropical Storm Nate, and it is moving over Honduras and also Nicaragua, and as it does that, it's going to have some interaction with the land. It may get downgraded just a little bit, but once it moves into the open waters once again and eventually into the Gulf of Mexico, we are going to see this become a hurricane. However, right now, Tropical Storm Nate is moving off towards the northwest, and it's picked up a little bit of forward speed right now at 9 miles per hour, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and it is going to continue to make its way and eventually arc in between Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba. That's the belief that we see it's going to be doing. So it's just going to go through this pass here. And then the good news is this high-pressure system across the Bahamas is one that we now think is going to get a little bit stronger, and as it does that, it'll push the track a little bit farther away from the state of Florida. But we're still looking at it possibly making landfall anywhere from the panhandle, the western panhandle of Florida, all the way over to the southeastern corner of Louisiana. So right now, that's where the present track is. But as we know, we have to continuously watch these systems. So the spaghetti plot is really taking it even further right into, really out of the harm's way of Florida, but more into the Louisiana area. But as you know, we have to continue to monitor this system over the next couple of days, and we will obviously bring you updates as they come out to us. We'll make certain to pass those along so that you know exactly what's going on. As far as we know right now, it is going to become a hurricane once it hits the Gulf of Mexico, because the warm waters are definitely going to support that. And of course, the GFS model is also pretty much showing the same thing. We've got Nate making its entry in through the Gulf of Mexico between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba, and then once it moves into the Gulf, kind of staying away from the state of Florida, staying more over the central Gulf, and that's great news for us, of course, and then it's going to be moving on up in towards the Tennessee Valley over the beginning of next week. And in the meantime, we've had plenty of cloud cover located here across our viewing area. We've been watching the clouds coming on in. We've been watching the showers and the isolated thunderstorms as well. We've been seeing a lot more activity on radar showing up as a result of this other system that was across the southeastern sections of Miami, and now it's moving towards the west into the Gulf of Mexico. We don't believe that there's going to be any chance of it developing, but it's going to certainly bring us plenty of rainfall over the next several days. We're going to be seeing showers and thunderstorms developing all the way through the weekend, and we're going to get waves of heavy rains, heavy bands that will come on through here throughout the day today. Nothing but cloud cover, so as a result, we are going to be seeing our temperatures much cooler because of the rain and the clouds that are going to be coming on through. So if you haven't had the rain yet, we are going to get it. It's in the forecast today to get a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and it's 80 degrees right now. And again, because the cloud cover is out there, we just don't have those temperatures warming up. And again, the winds are going to be a factor. Everything is moving through very quickly because these winds are so strong, and there are also small craft advisories out in effect for boaters all the way through tomorrow. And this is what we can expect, a 50 to 60 to 70% chance of rain through the weekend, with our temperature highs right up there in the mid to upper 80s. Scott?
All right, Wendy, thank you. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the Manatee County Clerk's Office is reminding residents it is a resource to those directly and indirectly affected by domestic violence. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. And more than 100,000 cases of domestic violence reported last year in Florida alone. Manatee County Clerk's Office helps file reports to ensure victims are connected with advocate programs. For more information, you can contact Melanie McKeever at the office, the Violence Protection Supervisor, or you can just visit the website manateeclerk.com. Women over the age of 60 may benefit from pumping some iron. A new study shows lifting weights may help protect against osteoporosis. Australian researchers studied 101 postmenopausal women with low bone density. They randomly assigned the women to do either high-intensity resistance training, including weights and the deadlift, or low-intensity training like lunges. After 8 months, those in the high-intensity training group had higher bone mineral density and improved strength performance. But if you're interested in giving it a try, remember these women did the high-intensity exercises while supervised by an instructor. A mother is sentenced to 7 days in jail for refusing to bring her child's vaccinations up to date. Rebecca Breedow was held in contempt yesterday for deliberately disobeying a court order to vaccinate her 9-year-old son. According to Breedow, she and her ex-husband agreed to space out and ultimately suspend their son's vaccines. Well, now the judge is saying he will be vaccinated while she's in jail.
We've always shared the same beliefs on vaccinations until recently.
I understand you love your children, but what I don't think you understand is that your son has 2 parents, and Dad gets a say.
While the state of Michigan does allow parents to opt their children out of certain vaccinations, both parents must agree. The American Academy of Pediatrics says vaccines are safe, effective, and save lives. Thousands of children nationwide could lose health insurance in a matter of months if Congress does not take action. Joe St. George spoke to a parent and a healthcare leader in Colorado about the program's impact.
Halloween is my favorite holiday of all.
Andrew Montoya wishes all he had to worry about this month were his Halloween decorations, not the frightening thought his children may soon have no health insurance.
When she gets sick, we don't have to worry about whether we have the funds to go in and cover a doctor visit.
You see, Andrew's daughter Scarlett, as well as his other 2 girls, are on the federally funded Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP. 75,000 Colorado children whose parents can't afford insurance use it.
We actually take them to a karate class, for instance, a couple of times a week. We would not be able to afford that if we had to, instead sink those hundreds of dollars into providing health care coverage.
The issue tonight, Congress has let the CHIP program expire. No more money. Colorado leaders tell us they'll run out of funds by the end of January.
We're guardedly optimistic. We need Congress to act.
Susan Birch, the executive director of healthcare policy for the state, says tonight there is reason to hope Congress will pass a fix. Both Democratic Senator Michael Bennet and Republican Senator Cory Gardner support a measure that advanced today. But in the meantime, Birch advises parents look at insurance options.
And they need to start thinking about what products are available in my county or my region. So we want families to be savvy, smart shoppers and to be thinking about this in case Congress does not get its act together.
And it's not just children who could be impacted. 800 pregnant women in Colorado benefit from CHIP 2. Andrew tonight with a message for leaders.
It's pretty disappointing to see that Congress is playing politics on the backs of our children.
That's Joe St. George reporting there. Florida operates a combination CHIP program called Florida Kid Care. In 2014, 90% of children in Florida were all covered by Kid Care. All right, let's get over to our kitchen now, where Samuel Ray joins us today from Tsunami Sushi and Hibachi Grill in downtown Sarasota. Samuel, great to have you back. What's on your menu for today?
Hey, Scott, always a pleasure. Today we're going to do chicken lettuce wraps.
All right, we'll be back with you in just a bit. Thank you, Samuel.
Thanks.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-620-2254. That's 1-800-620-2254.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Some people in the United States are rallying in favor of Puerto Rico, demanding the island's debt be forgiven. The hurricane-ravaged island has been struggling with a huge $73 billion debt burden. Back in May, it filed for the biggest U.S. municipal bankruptcy in history. Rally organizers in Chicago are now calling on financial institutions to stop the island's debt growth.
It is time to cancel the debt altogether.
The debt went sour, and now is the time for them to write off the debt and swallow the bad business decision that they made.
President Trump told Fox News on Tuesday, quote, "We are going to work something out. We have to look at their whole debt structure." The White House did not provide any further details on the president's comments. A Republican congressman who has spoken out against abortion will not seek re-election at the end of his term. Pennsylvania Congressman Tim Murphy's decision came after reports this week that he urged a woman he was having an affair with and who they thought was pregnant to have an abortion. Murphy released a statement saying he decided against seeking re-election after talking with his family and staff. He says he'll take time in the coming weeks to get help as he and his family work through their personal difficulties. Amid calls for change in the aftermath of the massacre in Las Vegas, President Trump has stayed out of the gun control debate, but there is mounting pressure that may soon draw him into the conversation as advocates and Democratic lawmakers press for change. And even though he seems to be brushing off the topic, he has acknowledged he'll have to address it in full eventually. But for advocates of stricter gun control laws, the time to talk is now.
We'll be talking about gun laws as time goes by.
Don't tell me this is about protecting the Second Amendment when you won't stand up for the First Amendment.
A new bill would make $150 bump stop adapters used by the Las Vegas shooter to convert his guns into automatics illegal. Already, it has 26 co-sponsors, all of them Democrats, but at least 6 Republican senators are open to a hearing on the issue. Back to the kitchen now. Wendy is with our good friend Samuel Ray from Tsunami Hibachi Grill. Guys?
Oh, I have to say, Scott, it smells so good over here, and you're going to get ready to make one of my favorite dishes. And this is the chicken lettuce
Chicken lettuce wraps, that's right.
Wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful. So tell us what you're doing.
What a lucky day.
Yes, I know, this is wonderful.
We get to do it on your face.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started here. I've got half an onion here, and that's diced finely. We're going to put that in peanut oil.
Oh, okay. I was smelling peanuts, so
Peanut
that's where
oil,
you're going to start with.
That's
okay,
right.
great.
So we're going to simmer this, and your pan's going to be on medium-high heat here. We're going to add half a green bell pepper in there.
Okay.
We're just going to let that simmer a little bit, let those veggies kind of break down a bit. This is water chestnut.
Nice. So that gives it a nice little crunch then.
It's so much fun. I love the crunch.
Yeah. And this is something that you were telling me is a little bit newer now, that they are starting to do the chicken.
You see it a lot more than you ever used to. That's right.
Always you saw it with turkey, ground turkey, but now we're starting to see the ground chicken available as well. So this is going to make this dish a little bit easier to make.
I mean, ground pork, ground beef have always been there.
Exactly.
And then, why didn't we do birds?
I don't know. I don't know. So this is something I've been seeing.
A good trick, if you don't have, ground chicken, a lot of people don't keep it in their freezer. You can just throw a couple of chicken breasts in a food processor, and you'll get the exact same thing.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about finding it in the store.
Right. At the store, it looks like ground beef, kind of, in the little strings. But once you take it out, it's fine like this.
Okay.
So now that those are cooking a little bit, we're going to add this in there.
Yep.
The trick to this recipe is that we want it to be, we want that chicken to be really crispy.
Yeah.
So. It's so much better. So we're going to let that cook for about 4 minutes in a pan, like I said, medium-high heat. And then once I get this all mixed together, we'll get started on sauce.
Okay. You want me to do that while you get started on the sauce?
That'd be awesome.
Yes, that way you can get going on the other more important things.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so moving on over here, we've got 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now, soy sauce is a base in most Asian dishes, really.
Yes.
A lot less salt, a lot more soy sauce.
Right.
If you have a gluten allergy, you can use coconut amino acids, and that's going to be gluten-free and kind of the same flavor as soy sauce.
Oh, nice.
So when we get customers that are celiac or just staying away from gluten at Tsunami, that's usually what we'll use to make sure that'll work.
Okay.
So this was 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. It's kind of like soy sauce.
Right in the Asian
You can find them at Publix, you can find them at Whole Foods, you can find them just about anywhere. Sesame oil's going in here, about 2 tablespoons of that.
I love sesame oil.
It adds such a nice...
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Then we've got white wine vinegar going in, or rice wine vinegar, excuse me.
Again, keeping with that Asian theme.
Yes, of course. Peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of that. Then we've got some honey to sweeten everything up a bit. Tablespoon of that. How are we cooking over here?
Not very quickly. It seems as though it's taking a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll turn that heat up a little bit. I'm always... Okay. It's a strange skillet for me.
I know. You guys are used to cooking with gas. I know.
And we're going to add, this is a powdered ginger. You can use fresh ginger in this recipe. That's what we would use at the restaurant, but for something you keep at home, you're not going to use fresh root ginger a lot.
Right.
So
No, it's true, and it tends to spoil if you don't use it right away.
Exactly. And then this is garlic powder, excuse me. And then sweet chili sauce.
Nice.
All right, so we'll mix that all up together, and then that's going to go in the pan with the chicken. This is a 1 skillet dish, which is so nice and easy. Don't have to do so many dishes when you get home.
And it kind of creates a sweet and salty
It does.
sauce, doesn't it? Yeah,
does.
that's kind of nice.
Yep.
So you get those two flavors. We're cooking a little bit better here. We may not be able to cook in time to get your
Well,
we do have a finished product.
We do.
It's
we
not
cooked
like
some before
didn't,
we got
That's right.
here.
We do have a finished product. This is taking forever, it seems. Yeah, we've got about 10 seconds left. So what we're going to remind everybody is that you can always go to our dining page on our website. You will be able to get this recipe. This is the finished product, and this is how it looks when it's all said and done. And it is one of the most wonderful, elegant things to serve. It's a great lunch dish, too, isn't it?
And it's good for
you,
too.
And it's good for you. Oh, gosh, yes, it is good for you, and it smells good while it's cooking. So I'm just going to remind everybody to make sure that you go on up mysuncoast.com, go to the dining page. You'll be able to find our recipe. Thank you so much for coming out and
Thanks,
joining
Wendy.
us today. I'll keep on working.
All right, you got it,
and
girl.
you will be right back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Begin with weather and now Tropical Storm Nate, which was officially named and formed this morning.
I know.
And the new track is potentially some good news. Wendy in for John today.
And you know, the good news is really that high pressure system in the Bahamas is going to be a real steering mechanism for this storm. So the stronger it is, the more it's going to push it away from us. So that's our great hope out there, is that high pressure system. And what we're looking at right now is that it's still a good distance away from us. And of course these tracks are going to change over time, but what we have to do is just be mindful of the fact that we are looking at a system moving into the Gulf of Mexico, and we still have to pay attention, even though at this point we do believe it's not going to be affecting our coastline, but we do have to pay attention to it. It's moving towards the northwest at 9 miles per hour. 40-mile-per-hour winds, and you can see the track that it's going to be taking over the next couple of days will take it right across the Yucatan Peninsula and then eventually into the central Gulf of Mexico. By the time it moves into the Gulf, it will become a hurricane, and this is only going to be a Category 1 hurricane all the way through. We don't see it strengthening anymore because of high-level winds that are out there. It will keep it a little bit more of a minimalized storm, but once it gets on land, we expect that it's going to take place somewhere over Louisiana, Mississippi. In that area is where we believe it's going to make landfall right now. But again, we know we have to pay attention to these storms. We know we have to continue to monitor them so that we can see what's going on. And then, of course, we do have in our area, we've got another area of disturbance that was off the coast of Miami. It's going to continue to move over towards the west. It is not expected to form, but if you look down to the south, you can see what is expected over the next several days and straight on into the weekend with Nate. As it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, it's expected to go into the central Gulf of Mexico. And of course, we are going to be far enough away from it that we're not going to experience much more than maybe an occasional shower and some cloudiness as a result of it. But we will see some rain showers developing over the weekend. It just is going to be a lot better of an experience for us if we don't have to be dealing with Nate on top of everything else. Temperatures right now in the 80s. We have plenty of cloud cover. We also have all the rain showers coming in from the east coast. They're gathering some steam here, as you can see, across the southeastern sections of Lake Okeechobee. Everything moving towards the northwest at this point, and there are strong winds coming at us too. So because of those strong winds, we're going to be seeing everything moving in very quickly. And so just anticipate that we are going to be seeing these winds that we're going to be carrying everything on through with temperature highs of about 86 degrees today. Lots of cloud cover, and then occasionally we're going to get these rain showers and thunderstorms coming on through. That's what we can expect over the next couple of hours. Scott?
All right, Wendy, thank you. Let's get to, remember Hurricane Irma? Well, state officials say Irma caused more than $2.5 billion in damage to Florida's agriculture industry, the most devastating blow hitting orange growers. The storm causing nearly $800 million in damages. Growers talked of trees standing in 3 feet of water and also said it's too late in the season now for a new crop. Beef cattle, dairy, and sugar industries were also heavily affected by the storm. The last shelter used for Hurricane Irma evacuees has finally closed. The final resident set up inside the Miami-Dade shelter was placed in a long-term apartment on Wednesday. The woman was homeless before the hurricane, which complicated her exit from that shelter. A fire that destroyed a Tampa elementary school may have been caused by the damage Hurricane Irma left behind. The Tampa Magnet School had just had power restored when the fire broke out. Wednesday's report from Tampa Fire Rescue comes amid rumors the fire was set by someone angered that the school was renamed for Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Investigators were not able to pinpoint the precise cause of the electrical malfunction, but said extensive water damage was a likely factor. The fates of hundreds of thousands of immigrants, many here since infancy, is still in the balance after President Trump decided to end an Obama-era program to protect them from deportation. As ABC's Maggie Rulli reports, the Dreamers face a new deadline now.
Today, a last-minute push to get thousands of Dreamers to renew their immigration status as part of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, as they face today's deadline. About 48,000 eligible immigrants have yet to renew their status. But even with a renewal, the future for these 800,000 Dreamers is anything but certain.
And we need a vote, and we need it now.
I mean, the almost 800,000 Dreamers have a very uncertain future.
It's really hard watching the news, all my dreams coming downhill.
Last month, President Trump fulfilled one of his primary campaign promises, announcing his plan to end the DACA program in 6 months, although he says he still supports the Dreamers.
I have a great heart for the folks we're talking about, a great love for them.
But demands that Congress be the one to act before DACA expires on March 5th.
The March 5th deadline is going to make us act. Failure is not an option. I've never seen more bipartisan support for the idea than right this moment. The American people have heard you. They share your dream and overwhelmingly support your dream.
Most Republicans want any future immigration bill to include stricter border security.
Any potential DACA agreement has to include robust border security, and by that I don't mean a wall.
Democrats say the top priority should remain supporting young people.
What you represent are people who can bring real value to America.
After a dinner between President Trump and Democrats last month, there were signs that both sides were close to a compromise, but that was short-lived. And now what happens next is anyone's guess. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
A 12-year-old girl is alive thanks to a complete stranger that helped save her from a manhole. The girl fell into that open manhole on Tuesday in New York. The fall shattered her ankle and her body temperature dropped after standing in 2 feet of water. George Pankowski noticed the open manhole and a broken cell phone nearby before he heard her cries for help.
And all of a sudden I heard some voice saying to me, "Help me, help me." And I didn't see her at first. I had to stick my head inside the hole so I could actually see it because it was pitch dark in there.
Well, the girl is now recovering after surgery at a children's hospital. Pankowski went to visit her in the hospital, and when her parents called him a hero, he humbly said, "Not by a long shot." Well, we think he is. A small Southern California brush fire is out today. It started yesterday after a car caught on fire. Fire officials say the car had a mattress stuck underneath it and the fire spread to nearby brush. It burned about 2 to 3 acres before it was put out. A North Central Florida medical helicopter was forced to make an emergency landing at a high school because a patient allegedly punched someone from the medical team. According to a report from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the 66-year-old man punched one person and then hit another medical worker yesterday. The deputy said the patient also grabbed equipment inside the chopper. Rescue officials then helped transport the man to a nearby hospital once it landed. Police say a naked, drunk South Florida man wanted to know if his guns worked, so he fired them into the air. Neighbors heard the gunfire Tuesday and they called authorities. Monroe County investigators say 66-year-old Roger Scheid was found inside the home naked and appeared to be intoxicated. He's now charged with unlawful discharge of a weapon and firing a weapon while under the influence. Honors for dozens of Sarasota County public schools for their community involvement. 39 public schools have been awarded the Golden School Award. 17 of those received the 5-Star School Award. Organizers say these awards show how devoted the schools and their surrounding neighborhoods are to their students' success. Schools must document volunteer hours equaling twice the student enrollment and train at least 80% of their faculty to work with volunteers. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a popular VW vehicle now on recall. I'll tell you which one when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com, A-N-D Services.com.
Nate became a tropical storm at about 8 o'clock this morning, and it is just a big mess down here, and you can see what I'm talking about. It's very hard to determine where the center is right now, but it actually is over Nicaragua, and that's where it's going to continue for a little bit before it finally moves into the Gulf of Mexico eventually. That's going to take place either Saturday or Sunday. And of course, we're going to continue to monitor this system. It looks as though it's going to be lifting on up and going in between the Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba before it makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico. And right now the winds are at 40 miles per hour. It's moving towards the northwest at 9 miles per hour. So it's picked up a little bit of forward speed, but it's also having a little bit of an interaction with land. Once it moves back into the waters, of course, it will have an opportunity to get organized again, and then it's expected to get over into the Gulf of Mexico by Saturday. And once it moves into the Gulf, then we're going to be dealing with a hurricane there. But the good news for us is that high pressure near the Bahamas is helping to keep this system a little bit farther away from the state of Florida. So the track is taking it a good distance away from the west coast of Florida, and possibly just at the tip of the panhandle of Florida and over towards Louisiana is where it's likely to make landfall on Sunday. And it could very well become a Hurricane 1, Category 1, as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. So the spaghetti plots are certainly all taking it right towards the New Orleans area, and most of the models are very much in concurrence, and so it's going to be moving on up towards the Tennessee Valley over the next several days. The beginning of next week is when it's expected to be across land and across the southeastern part of the country. But we still have to monitor this system because, as you know, these tracks can change on a daily basis, and a difference of 50 miles can make a big difference if it's coming in our direction. So we have to be paying attention to it. In the meantime, though, the GFS models are also bringing it pretty much right along that same track as all of the other tracks are moving it right into the central Gulf and then taking it right up towards the New Orleans area and then eventually moving it over to the Tennessee Valley beginning on Monday and Tuesday. So this is what we're going to be dealing with over this weekend, is plenty of cloud cover for us. We're going to be seeing the opportunity for showers. We've also had this system right here, which has been off of the southeastern coastline of Florida. It has been just an area of disturbed weather, and now it's starting to move towards the Gulf of Mexico, and as that continues to make its move, we are seeing that system affecting us today, and we're going to continue to see that affecting us over the next couple of days, bringing us a 60 to 70% chance of rain in our forecast. The clouds certainly are thickening up. You can see them here along the eastern coastline, and as they move and spread across over to the western coast, it's helping to keep our temperatures down. Rainfalls are becoming a little bit heavier and stronger as they're moving in from the east coast and moving towards the central part of the state. And eventually all of this wet weather is going to make its way over here for later on today. We are expecting to see a good 60% chance of rain in our forecast today. So that's the likelihood that we'll be getting. Small craft advisories are in effect for the boaters today. And over the next several days, take a look all the way through the weekend. We are looking at a 70% chance of rain both Saturday and Sunday. Daytime highs will stay in the upper 80s. Scott?
No sign of fall just yet. All right, thank you so much. Well, Google is introducing new phones, smart speakers, and other devices with artificial intelligence as it looks to compete against rivals like Amazon and Apple. The new Google Pixel phones have larger, brighter screens and have lost the headphone jack. The company also unveiling new wireless headphones that can translate spoken language in real time. How about that? One of the new smart speakers is similar to Apple's upcoming HomePod, and the other is similar to the Amazon Echo Dot. A shift by PepsiCo from sodas to more healthy beverages, well, it turned out to hurt sales. the company acknowledging it gave too much shelf space to its newer low-calorie drinks and spent too much money marketing them. One reason being blamed for the slump, a cooler than average summer for some parts of the country, which hurt sales of Gatorade the most. PepsiCo said it plans to return to more of its focus to brands that drive sales, including Pepsi and Mountain Dew. Volkswagen is recalling nearly 74,000 Touareg SUVs. Models made from 2004 to 2007 had faulty fuel pumps that can lead to gasoline leaks. This is part of a recall announced by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration involving a parts supplier that could affect millions of vehicles. The agency is now investigating which other vehicles could be affected. Austin City Limits, a popular music festival in Austin, Texas, is offering refunds in the wake of the Las Vegas attack. But they're just deactivating wristbands and not asking that you return them. That means you could start to see deactivated wristbands popping up for sale, and you wouldn't know they're not any good. But there are some steps you can take to protect yourself from becoming a scam victim.
Be aware of who you're buying from. So buy from the box office if you can, Front Gate Tickets, ACL Fest, or buy from Ticket City. Here in Austin, we're a local company, and we make sure that everybody who lists on our site is vetted before they list.
When buying tickets last minute for festivals, it's suggested you ask the person who sold you that ticket to walk to the gate with you to make sure it gets you inside. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Celine Dion took the stage in Las Vegas last night for the first time since the mass shooting, why she decided not to cancel her show. Next.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-620-2254. That's 1-800-620-2254.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck. Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
An emotional Celine Dion taking the stage in Las Vegas last night, her first show since the deadly massacre on Sunday. She said she wasn't sure if she should be back on stage so soon and felt the right thing to do was to help out and let the audience help as well. The singer told the crowd proceeds from the night would go to the victims of Sunday's shooting. The 5 living former U.S. presidents will all participate in a benefit concert later this month. That concert is a continuation of the One America appeal, when the 5 former presidents filmed this video urging people to help after Hurricane Harvey caused tremendous damage in Texas. Since filming that video, the 5 have since continued the effort, extending the money raised from it to those affected by Hurricanes Irma and Maria as well. Hugh Hefner's death certificate reveals that he suffered from a recent E. coli infection and a severe blood infection. The 91-year-old died last week at his home, the Playboy Mansion in Beverly Hills, California. Hefner was laid to rest over the weekend at a cemetery in a plot right next to Marilyn Monroe, the very first Playboy cover model. If you're looking for something fun to do over the weekend, Sarasota Jungle Gardens is reopening Saturday for the first time since Hurricane Irma. The storm caused some extensive damage to the park, and some exhibits remain closed while reconstruction and upgrades continue. But you can still see flamingos, the showbirds, and the alligators as well. The park is also offering 50% off regular admission. And they said all the animals, despite some damage to some of their enclosures, all the animals were safe and cared for during the storm, which is good to know.
Oh yeah, you knew that they were going to take care of those animals, and especially those flamingos. They're so much fun, aren't they? We are looking at some showers and thunderstorms coming on in. They're going to be coming in waves today, and we've got a 60% chance of rain. The breezy conditions continue as well because of the cloud cover. Highs only in the upper 80s today.
Okay, Wendy, thank you. Have a great afternoon. We invite you back at 5 o'clock. Hope to see you then.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.